We're good. This is Crystal Paco. She's a reporter.
Hi, Crystal.
She's been covering a lot of the stuff going on in the Catholic Church. I'm Sabrina. I'm the one who called earlier. So we were going to do the interview this way, since it's easier.
Okay.
Since we're television and radio, so
Good
we're doing
for you.
both.
Great.
So I guess we can begin. Oh, so let me just.
Right there's perfect.
Yeah, and that's our photographer, Jacob.
Hello.
Hi, Jacob.
Okay, we're good. I'm ready.
Okay, well, we'd just like to begin with first asking you your message to the people of Guam.
My message to the people of Guam is that I'm looking forward to meeting you. And I have heard of the rich heritage of your faith and devotion, and I'm really eager to be part of that and to bring the love and the mercy of Jesus. And so that's what I'd like to say right now.
Tell me about when did you find out you were coming to Guam?
Just about 2 weeks ago, and I was traveling in London to a retreat with some other people who are connected in a ministry that I'm involved with, people from around the world, and I got a phone call from Archbishop Pierre, the Papal Nuncio of the United States, and he told me what the Holy Father was interested in appointing me to, and I said, I'll do whatever the Holy Father wants. And then he said it was from Guam. And I said, great. I had to look it up. I know of Guam, but I didn't know where it was. So I knew it was in the Pacific Ocean.
So have you had any conversations with Archbishop Savio Hontai?
I did. Just today we had our first conversation. Actually, a couple of conversations. So, yeah.
So what can you tell us? What do you know so far about Guam? Because, the church has been saying that it is a tumultuous time here on Guam with allegations against Archbishop Anthony Apuron. And then there's concerns about the Redemptorist Martyrs Seminary and the Neo-Catechumenal Way. So I guess, how are you going to handle that?
Well, first I have to see, and I have heard from a couple of people. I've heard from some other people from the Congregation of the Propagation of the Faith. But really, to get a full sense of what do I do. I know some basics, but what do I do is to meet and to listen, and to hear concerns. I know there are sides on this, and so, the proverb says, you listen to both sides, and so I don't want to come with any preconceived notions about what I will, how will I handle this until I see the situation for myself, and that's the only way for me to get a grasp of it. I do know, and I've already said this to another person from the other radio station, one of the other radio stations, that it seems like our team isn't working so well. Like when you have a soccer team that's not scoring goals or not defending goals, you go back to what's basic, and for us, what's basic is Jesus. And I know I can bring Jesus because that's what I've been ordained to do. And so I think beyond anything is we start with Jesus, and then we listen and we sort things out. Because unless we must have common. That's our common foundation. So that's the best I can say about that, because I know there's some other troubles and concerns, and I need to listen, to learn before I can't come in with a preconceived. I've said that before, but that's my conviction.
Can you explain for us just what exactly does Coadjutor Archbishop mean?
Yes, as best I can. Um, Coadjutor is a bishop who assists. Coadjutor Archbishop is I. On the one hand, I'm there to assist in this place to take the place of the Archbishop. Um, and the coadjutor part means that um, when the Archbishop either retires, resigns, or is removed, then I would become the Archbishop. So like I have the right of succession. In the meantime, I will exercise the authority and responsibility, full authority and full responsibility for the Archdiocese of Agana. Am I saying that right?
Agana.
Agana?
Yeah.
Agana. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
No worries.
I'm learning.
That's
now,
right.
I'm learning. Yeah. So that's what I understand this to mean.
Okay.
In the event Archbishop Apuron is cleared of any allegations, of all allegations, will you still be the Bishop of Guam?
That's a question I don't know the answer to. And that would be, I suppose, that'd be a question I should have asked to the Archbishop. I had a chance to meet the Holy Father before, just last Friday. But I don't know. I honestly don't know the answer to that question. Sorry.
No worries. When do you get to Guam? How soon do you start?
I am planning to come to Guam, leaving Detroit like November 25th or 26th. I haven't made the flight yet. And I'll plan to stay for a few weeks. And then I need to, first of all, find the island and meet the people and meet the priests especially. And then I would move. Then I would return to Detroit to prepare for the move. The move when I would come to reside in Agana permanently.
Okay, so yeah, it sounds
and
like
that would be somewhere in mid to late January. It's all happened very quickly, believe me.
Yeah, it just sounds permanent, like you just said. So that's why it's interesting the question that Crystal had asked if the Archbishop Apuron was cleared of any wrongdoing. But it just sounds so finite since you're actually appointed by the Pope to what sounds like to officially take over.
Well, and if he at age 75, every bishop sends in their resignation. So that and again, I don't know the full answer to the question that Crystal asked, but I do know it's not uncommon.
We actually hear that it's Archbishop Apuron's birthday today. I'm not sure how old.
Yes. I think he's around 71, 72, something like that is what I was told.
Okay, so at 75 anyways, he would have to resign. How old are you?
I am 58.
So you said you spoke with Archbishop Hon earlier today, the first conversation that you've had with him, correct?
Yes.
So what does this mean for Archbishop Hon? Does he stay on board here until you come over?
Yes. That's until I come over, especially when I come in November, so that we can kind of he'll hand over the reins. We're already in conversation, and that we're making decisions. He's been consulting me. I haven't had to make any decisions. He's just alerting me to some things that will have to be decided, and we'll work together on that. And once I'm on the ground, then he'll move on.
Can you just tell us a little bit more about yourself, just so that our the faithful here and the people of Guam are a little bit more familiar with who you are before you come?
Sure. Okay. Well, I grew up in the city of Detroit, in Michigan. You know, most people know Detroit is the place where they make all the cars. Um, it was once a very beautiful city. It's fallen on hard times, but that's where I grew up. I went to university at the University of Michigan, and that was the place where I really kind of became deeper in my faith. I grew up in a time where there was a lot of questioning about the faith, and I was starting to drift away from the Lord. And when I was in university, I came to meet some other Christians, Catholic and Protestant, and that's where I really came to understand that Jesus isn't just a figure from the past, but he's alive, and he wants to be in relationship with me, with us. And that's really when my faith came alive. I spent several years in doing campus ministry at a nearby college called Eastern Michigan University. And I was also part of an outreach center called Servant Ministries. And in 1990, I entered seminary in Detroit, Sacred Heart Major Seminary, and became a priest in 1996. I was 37 years old at the time. And so I served as a priest for a while, and then for 3 years as an associate priest. And in 1999, I was assigned to graduate studies in Rome, and I studied biblical theology and achieved my doctorate there. I went back to Detroit and served in the seminary as a professor and as the vice rector of Sacred Heart Seminary in Detroit. And I did that for 11 years, or for 8 years rather. In 2011, I was ordained an auxiliary bishop here in Detroit. So that's a brief synopsis of my history. I have one of my focuses as the auxiliary bishop in Detroit has been, first of all, the care of the priests and parishes in one of the regions of Detroit. So there were about 60 parishes that I would be like the point man for, and about 90 priests. And so, but also in addition, I've been leading the Archdiocese in an initiative to embrace the new evangelization. It's called Unleash the Gospel. You can see it if you go on the Archdiocese of Detroit website sometime. And so part of the reason I'm coming at the end of November is that I've been preparing our diocese for an Archdiocesan Synod, which is a way of gathering the whole Archdiocese, gathering members from the whole Archdiocese to deliberate about a certain question. In our case, the question is, how can we become truly missionary as an Archdiocese? Not foreign missionary, but local missionary. And so that's taking place November 18th to 20th, so I have to, I'll come as soon as I'm done with that.
Well, I just have one final question, at least from me.
Sure.
Since the local church has gone through a lot over the last year, and some people, you mentioned growing up, you kind of lost faith, and so I think a lot of people here that are Catholic have lost faith, and
Sure.
I guess what message would you have for them?
That Jesus is alive, and that despite the challenges, I mean, that he is greater, and that's what I've experienced in my own life. That Jesus is so much greater than my inadequacy. He's so much greater than my weaknesses. He's so much greater than my resentment, my anger, and that he, ultimately he's the answer to all the heart questions that I have in my life. And I've experienced that for myself, and I know it's true. And I think we have to start with Jesus. That, and through His Blessed Mother, we can go through the hard work of reconciliation, of healing. I know there's lots of healing that needs to happen through, and reform. It sounds like there's some financial reform, and these all seem like very businessy things, but Christians understand. We as Catholics understand that there's nothing that God isn't concerned about, and that He's really concerned about us, and that's the kind of spirit I bring. I don't bring any financial experience. I can balance my checkbook. I don't have great legal. I've never studied law. I did my undergraduate degree was in microbiology, so that doesn't really. But I'm very confident in Jesus' ability to bring good out of evil, to bring healing where there's despair, to bring hope, to bring peace. Jesus can do this, and so I can't. I can lift up, I can point us to Jesus, but He can. And so that's my conviction, and I'm still sight unseen. You're the first people I've seen from the Archdiocese of Agana.
Well, this is what Guam looks like.
To meet you. Really thrilled.
You actually kind of segued to my next question, is that the local church here is on the brink of being sued. Many alleged victims have surfaced. A law passed here locally that would allow victims to sue the church. Are you prepared for that? Potential bankruptcy, school closures? You were talking about you have no financial experience.
Well, yes, no, this is the time where you collaborate when I will collaborate with others. I can't be but we can work together on some things. And we have faced many hard things here in Detroit. I'm not unfamiliar with the hardship, especially, the sexual abuse of minors, or just even allegations of that can be just so devastating. So I have some experience in that. But I will need lots of help. And I'm sure that there are plenty of good people in the Archdiocese of Agana who will assist me, and my brother priests, and religious in this whole effort.
Just real quickly, just to follow up on her question, aside from the finances, there's been this whole, faction, I guess you could say, in the local church regarding the neo-catecumενal way. Are you familiar with the neo-catecumενal way? And then, I guess, your comments on that.
Yes, I have some familiarity, and not close. I've not been part of the neo-catecumενal way. Their reputation is good, and in the broad stroke, and we are Catholics together, so we should be able to find some way. I know that there's a division and a faction, and my heart is sad for that, but I know there's some way. If we believe, if Jesus is the Lord, then He's the Lord of all of us. And so we'll sort this out as Christians.
Okay, I think we're good. Okay. But before we go, may we teach you something about Guam? How to say half a day. Half a day.
Half a day?
Yeah.
Half a day.
It's a greeting here. Half a day.
Half a day.
Perfect.
Excellent. Did I do it okay?
Yes.
Great.
Perfect.
Okay,
we can't wait to meet you in person.
Well, I guess
likewise.
We'll see you, I guess. Will you be here for Thanksgiving? You said late November?
Just after Thanksgiving. I've got to see, this is when I'll see my brother and everybody to say goodbye.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see you in late November after Thanksgiving.
And prepare for
Sounds
the heat.
great.
We're also going to be live streaming the press conference that the Archdiocese is going to be holding in about an hour. If you want to catch that on our Facebook, KUM News Facebook page.
Okay, I'll see if I can.
See what they're saying about you, but it's going to get late for you.
Yeah.
It's already like
Thank you, yes.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Your Excellency. Good night.
Oh, you're very welcome. God bless you all in your ministry.
Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.